Today we got Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme of Earth, taking on the Flash, the Scarlet Speedster and fastest man alive. Who wins? Well, let's find out. Dr. Stephen Strange was once a gifted but egotistical surgeon who sought out the Ancient One to heal his hands after they were wounded in a car accident. Instead, the Ancient One trained him to become a master of the mystic arts and the Sorcerer Supreme of Earth. Now, being the master of the mystic arts and the Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange is obviously one of the most powerful sorcerers in the world. He uses mystical energy invoked by spells or incantations that allow him to project mystical energy as bolts, slashes, binds, or shields. He can manipulate the forces of the universe, manipulate matter and various forms of energy, and transmute and control elements. Doctor Strange can also open or seal portals to other realms, teleport or travel through dimensions, and he's even demonstrated control over dimensions and reality. He can turn intangible and invisible, project himself into the astral plane, communicate with the dead, manipulate dreams, summon supernatural beings, and he's demonstrated vast mental capabilities like telepathy and telekinesis. Doctor Strange can also channel the virtually limitless power of mystical and non-mystical beings, which has given rise to the saying that Doctor Strange is just as powerful as the god that he invokes. For instance, he's been able to call upon the powers of Sidorak, Agamotto, and Hogith before. He's also quite capable of utilizing black magic, although Strange tends to do so under the most extreme circumstances. Then he also has a formidable arsenal of magical artifacts, most notably the Eye of Agamotto and the Cloak of Levitation. The cloak functions as a sort of third setup of hands for Strange, allowing him to entangle opponents, fly, and levitate. It's also virtually indestructible and has shielded him from attacks before. And the Eye of Agamotto is an artifact with many different uses, such as vastly enhancing his psychic powers and allows for interdimensional travel, serves as a protective talisman, and is also an irresistible offensive weapon. Then in the other corner of Flash. Having discovered his mother murdered and his father blamed for the act, forensic scientist Barry Allen sought to clear his father's name and find the real killer. After being doused in chemicals and struck by lightning, Barry was granted the gift of super speed. Now he protects his hometown of Central City as the Flash, the fastest man alive and founding member of the Justice League. So Barry generates his super speed by tapping into the Speed Force, and he actually generates the Speed Force as he runs. So it's kind of like he's a Speed Force engine. This also means that he can never be cut off from the Speed Force, because as soon as he starts running, he will generate energy, regain his speed, and be connected with the Speed Force once more. Flash is able to run much faster than the speed of light, quickly circling the globe multiple times while fighting Reverse Flash. He's able to outrace Darkseid's Omega Beams. He's said that he can clear out all of Tokyo from a tidal wave in just 30 seconds, and he's also faster than Superman. When Flash runs, everything around him seems to slow down, but he's still able to make out crimes and people around him. Alongside superhuman speed, Barry also possesses superhuman agility and reflexes, allowing him to instantly react to any danger coming his way. He also has superhuman stamina and has near infinite endurance, meaning that, in theory, he could run for forever. Flash has complete control over his body, down to the molecular structure, which allows him to vibrate his body through solid objects. He's even able to vibrate so fast that light doesn't reflect off him, and he's invisible. Barry can also extend this ability to other people or objects, like the time he phased an entire plane and all of its passengers. With his super speed, Flash is able to run in a circle and create an air vortex, which he then uses as either an offensive weapon to suffocate an enemy, create a barrier, or to send someone to another dimension. He's able to project bolts of electricity from his hands, and he's also able to land countless punches using super speed. Flash can deliver the infinite mass punch, which is where he runs near the speed of light and gains the relative mass of a white dwarf star. Finally, Flash can also travel to and from the Speed Force and trap opponents in the Speed Force where they are unable to escape. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, while the Flash can do a whole lot more than just run around and is a very versatile hero, there is no doubt that Doctor Strange is more versatile. I mean, being the master of the mystic arts and the greatest sorcerer on the planet can kind of do that for you. But even with that versatility, it really won't grant him a definitive victory. They cancel each other out in a way where either one could claim the victory. Like, Flash could knock Strange out with his super speed, while Strange can send Flash off to a far-off dimension filled with demons and just leave him there. That's what I mean by their versatility canceling out, neither one claiming the victory. Now it's obvious that Flash will be landing the first attack here. He's so much faster than Strange that it's not even funny. But it won't be as easy as Barry just running in there and landing a quick punch to knock Strange out. That's because of his automated shields. He always has magical shields that surround him, and they've even stood up to planetary destruction. That's a lot more than anything Flash can throw at him. So it might seem like there's really no way for Flash to land an attack on Strange. Not necessarily true. Flash has the unique ability to turn intangible and phase through objects, and his phasing has allowed him to force Deadman out of his body and disrupt magical energy sources. So Flash can clearly affect magical items, but there's a big difference between disrupting a random magical energy source and going against the Sorcerer Supreme's magical shields of the Seraphim. After all, these shields have held up to planetary destruction, but that doesn't make a difference when we're talking about phasing. Like, Flash has been able to phase through Green Lantern's constructs, while Green Lantern's constructs have held up to planetary destruction as well. Same concept here. However, here's the thing. Flash won't just instantly know to phase through the shields because he won't know that the shields are there. They are invisible after all. And it's that slight delay that will make all the difference for Strange. Because we're talking here about a guy who can manipulate matter, space, and time. He can operate on an abstract level, defeat beings like Dormammu, Umar, and the Demon Zone, and generate strength greater than World War Hulk. He's got restraining spells like the Crimson Bands of Sidorak and the Seven Rings of Ragador, which have been able to restrain Juggernaut and even Elder Gods. On top of that, Strange can easily do things like mind control opponents, induce mystical sleep, cast illusions to the point where Flash wouldn't know what's real and what isn't, banish opponents to far off and dangerous dimensions, and, like I mentioned earlier, manipulate time, which is definitely helpful against a guy whose primary power is speed. And since Flash is simply immortal, he's going to be just as susceptible to any of Strange's magical attacks as any regular guy on the street, even though he's got superpowers. And if Flash does get through those shields, and he's able to land attacks on Strange, well, Doctor Strange has a surprising amount of durability. He's taken attacks from the mindless ones, who Hulk has struggled with in the past, and he can always project himself onto the astral plane, where Flash can't get to him, but Strange can attack Barry. At the end of the day, Doctor Strange's versatility and magical attacks are more than enough to take down the Scarlet Speedster. His shields are going to surprise Flash, and its increased durability will definitely catch him off guard. Then there's always time manipulation on the table, which will really swing this fight in Doctor Strange's favor. Flash can win if he's going all out from the very beginning, but he won't, because he'll just see Strange as another human, and that'll be his downfall. Doctor Strange wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts, so sign off in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe button. More videos just like this one every single day, and I'll see y'all next time.